Dr. Natalie Nicole, on behalf of the Role Model Academy, District 1 or 31901. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening, City Council and leaders. In 2000, I raised my hand to support this nation as a soldier. That meant to defend the Constitution and the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Among one of those freedoms was the freedom of speech. This evening, I'd like to address three primary concerns that I have regarding our city government. The first one is free speech restrictions and public comments forums. The second one is lack of formal ethics complaints and oversight process. And the third one is the accountability gaps in administration, policy, and governments. I submitted on October 16th an inquiry requesting clarification on which resolution, ordinance, or policy authorizes restriction of citizens from stating names or saying in the public in these meetings. To this day, I have not received a response. While I sent that information to the clerk of council, she redirected me to who it needed to go to. And I would just like to put on record that I am still waiting to know which resolution, ordinance, or policy was put in place or signed that stated that we as citizens were not allowed to use names when we get up here and we talk before the council. My second concern, for the record, I am African American. I'm not a part of any sorority. I'm not a part of a popular church or anything like that. I'm not speaking on behalf of any group or organization. On October 1st, I submitted a formal complaint regarding District 5, Councilor Charmaine Crabb, for inappropriate rhetoric towards citizens, leadership, and clergy. Again, I sent that formal complaint to the clerk of council. She stated that she had not received anything like this before, and she reached out to legal, in which legal told her to submit a copy of the letter to each of the council members. I don't know if that's happened yet or not, and that the counselors would do an individual review, and that's not due process. To this day, I have not heard anything back, and I responded to the clerk of council and the mayor and the legal department. There are other Georgia municipalities, such as Athens and Savannah, that have ethics procedures in place where citizens can file complaints and they have 7 days to respond, and there's a whole process. There's a committee. Being that Columbus, Georgia is the second largest city in the state, I find it very hard that we don't have those processes in place. And finally, the third concern is the lack of transparency and accountability in administration. Despite the investigative findings, the finance director remains in position. The deputy finance person remains in position. And this is a rhetorical question, but where was the motion to terminate the person who was supposed to be the expert, specifically in that department for finance? Based on the October 14 meeting, I view the mayor as the chief executive officer and the council as the legislative body, who all share responsibility for tone and policy and accountability. When departments lack structure, SOPs, or internal controls, it reflects a breakdown at the top. The man continued to repeat that the tone was not set at the top. And that would explain why we see what we see today and we have seen in the departments. He stated there was missing policies, weak or missing policies and procedures, inconsistent accountability across departments, outdated technology, insufficient data security, processes that are undocumented or lack standardization, a lack of clear tone and direction from leadership. All of those, as a citizen, is disheartening to hear. And I'm just wondering what exactly is going on in our government. I ask that council provide an outline of the plan to modernize the processes and align with the audit that was the recommendations. And then